waffling about myself. You guys asked me about myself, and I was waffling, off the dome. And it sounds to me that you're just looking for something to get stuck into. I'm like, yeah, that's actually true. And for the longest time, I've been thinking about, like, bro, what do I actually want? Like,
I've got all this energy, right? I feel like you want to be busy.
Yeah. And it's like even with Sam the other day, like about the presentation, we're like sitting there like ratting off. He's like we got to do this, and we're just like ratting off us to waffling, and he's like just developing a shape from that and helping us like craft like a great presentation. So you need these people around you.
Yeah, you always need something.
Then the next question
you always need someone to be like, come on, what's next?
Okay.
What's next?
That's the next question is, it's like, that's good. From first-hand experience, like, how can you get more of that? How can you help push along the process of development? That's what I've got to think about.
I like a little rhetorical question. That's my favourite kind of question.
It's an exciting position for you to be in.
100%.
Like looking at what might be next.
Yeah, I feel like you're in a great situation.
Which is why I was curious about whether it was frustrating for you, because you've clearly got a hungry mind. So in this window of wanting to know more and wanting
Maybe
to
adult
help
time.
people, but not knowing what that looks like, if you've got a fast mind and you're a deep thinker, is there any frustration over what next steps are?
I live in frustration. Like all my life. How are we doing? Welcome to the stage.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect.
There's loads of frustration around that. I mean, my entire life I've just focused. I haven't focused on, but I've just naturally been, and maybe it's because my dad's teachings and that, like him being insecure in himself, and so he's like, learn from other people. I've just naturally developed into, and now more consciously, like realizing I'm a student. I'm a student first and foremost, and this past gap year,
not again. Come to haunt me.
What are you up to?
Moving it closer to your face.
Yeah.
I did move it a bit closer. I don't need to eat it for breakfast.
Why
It feels
it's
like an
so
extra
close.
limb, doesn't it?
I totally forgot it was.
I really like looking into it.
I'd actually forgotten it was even.
I feel like a
thing.
pop star. Is this what Hannah Montana feels like when she sings?
Who's Hannah Montana?
What do you mean, who's Hannah Montana?
I don't have any social
Who's Hannah
media.
Montana?
I've only got
Hannah
WhatsApp.
Montana. Hannah Montana.
I've only got WhatsApp. I haven't got
Hannah
social media.
Montana's not like a social media. She's like.
Under the influence.
Do you know what High School Musical is and what Camp Rock is? Like the classic Disney films from like when we were younger. How old are you?
I actually don't. 20.
20.
I've watched so many films in my time, I can't lie. I just haven't watched those ones.
Hannah Montana, I don't think there's anyone watching, but if they are, Hannah Montana is the pop star.
Fair play.
She is the pop star. You cannot convince me otherwise.
I'm not going to try. I'm not educated enough to even have an opinion on such things. Is that like because I'm
Hold it up.
wrong? I don't want to hold it up. I want to forget
like-
it's there.
I think it's fine. Like
Well,
that.
then twist it so it faces you. Do you know what I mean? You can like. Meep, meep. So for those who don't know, Hannah Montana is Miley Cyrus's alter ego, and
Miley Cyrus.
Miley
Joke, I know Miley Cyrus.
coming in?
Cyrus,
I know Miley Cyrus.
Wrecking Ball, all of that. She just
Okay,
she is
telling me
the
that
double
that's the
life
same
girl.
person?
So Hannah Montana is a fictional character.
Yes, that I'm aware of. But now you've just mentioned Miley
The
Cyrus.
TV show that Miley Cyrus did for Disney was called Hannah Montana.
Okay.
So it was about a girl called Miley Cyrus, and her dad in real life plays her dad in the show. Billy Ray Cyrus. And in the show, Hannah Montana, who's like a high schooler, she is just like living her life, and then she puts on a blonde wig, and she turns into Hannah Montana pop star mode, and everyone knows Hannah Montana. She's super, super famous. She's just like top tier pop star. But then she takes the wig off. No one knows that it's Hannah Montana. It's Miley, right?
Right.
And it's just like,
Interesting.
do you know who Hannah Montana is?
I don't think anyone's given
Oh my
such a
goodness
good
gracious.
plot
We didn't even know
description.
there's any TV thing.
And I just feel like, I don't know.
I'm
She's just,
pretty sure I had like a microphone that, yeah,
so you do know who
and
Hannah
you'd
Montana
press
is.
it and like it would sing Miley Cyrus songs,
Or were they Hannah
like
Montana
big
songs?
franchise. You could get the lunchbox.
I remember singing
the
it everywhere. I
pen.
had 2 boys, not 2 girls. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was something I sadly missed
I
out
think
on.
you'd like Hannah Montana, just like the general like gist of Hannah/Miley, because it's like double life, but she's still the same person and she still has
And
the same
also
feelings and
quite
friends.
like
And
symbolic of life, anyways.
I think it
I
is
felt
because you've
like
always
you were going there with this.
you could like I wasn't, but it feels natural to go that way.
Segueing into
I
the
only
next
wanted to talk about
segment.
Hannah Montana, but we can talk about double lives.
Why not something with a couple of
Yeah.
You know why we could segue into this is because Hannah Montana grows up way faster than Miley Stewart. And that segues into us talking about being a baby adult.
Yes, baby adults.
This is, I'm just saying Grace should trademark this alongside.
So I graduated from university in 2022. It is now 2026. So I'm a 4-year-old adult.
Only just, too, really.
I just think it's where education finishes.
And life.
Or like
Yeah.
typical academic education.
I agree.
And then you start being an adult after you're like tied to the systems and routines.
Yeah, or like in any phase where you change from adolescence or experiencing adolescence to experiencing adulthood, that change is when your adult life begins.
It's like when you're given free reign to do whatever you want with your life.
Yeah. And in some ways, being at university, we were saying prolonged our adolescence. And
For
so we
sure.
only really felt like we became adults when you leave uni. And for you, you're a 4-year adult.
Yeah.
That was
And
quite a
I'm
profound
a-
conversation when you brought that back to me after you two had it.
Yeah.
When Grace brought that to me, I'm like, holy crap.
So
But I
this
think
conversation
really
stemmed
valid.
from us. Me and Sophie basically decided that. So if you don't know, me and Sophie have been friends since we were like, what, 6?
Yeah,
7?
probably.
Um,
Rainbows.
and we were having a little like DMC all about 2026, new year, what do we want for the year going forward? And people are typically like, oh, I want to get fit, I want to eat well, I want to go to the gym, I want to work out, I want to like live my best life, go thrive in a hobby or whatever. I want to be sillier. And I want to be less serious. And
that's
me and
great.
Sophie were talking about it, and it was just like, when you think about it, yes, I'm 24. That's not that old, but
No.
I'm only a 4-year-old adult.
Yeah.
I'm a
Facts.
4-year-old baby adult.
Really, really real.
So like,
and
why do I take myself so seriously and not?
absolutely.
Humour
Saying
is
that
so...
because that's what you are.
Crucial.
No, but it's...
It means that they're really in touch with that part of themselves.
And I think this is
I
where you're
agree.
mentioning taking yourself too seriously, and like, what were you saying earlier
Yeah, I don't
about
like
like?
people taking themselves too seriously. I was going to finish my point I said to your question earlier in a minute. Yeah, I'm not a very
We're
serious
working
geezer.
on that.
But, yeah.
No, you've lost your point.
What's the point?
Go for a nap, grown up.
Drag it up.
Oh, yeah, about being serious, isn't it? I don't like people who take themselves too
Don't take
seriously.
yourself too seriously.
You know?
But
I
like,
got my auntie.
I'm guilty of having done that, but only because I feel like I have to because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But I'm not an adult. I'm a 4-year-old.
But like, there's
Leave me
too
alone.
much going on
Duty.
in this world that like doesn't make sense, and like you don't have to make sense of even yourself. Like, there's things that you're gonna do today that you will look back on in years and you can laugh at, but like you can also laugh at it today. It's like what I think with the baby adult thing, which I was just mind blown. It's just a whole perspective shift. Like, you can give yourself permission to make mistakes, want to do things that mean you're not going to be perfect all the time, do things that aren't necessarily going to be good for you. And it's not giving yourself reasons to have any kind of like harming behavior towards yourself. It's just giving yourself permission to live an experience, which doesn't have to be something. It's just an experience.
Yeah, it's just give
And
yourself some
yeah.
flexibility to mess up sometimes.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And like you wouldn't tell a child that they're wrong for making a mistake or wanting to have fun or be silly. You're not going to tell a baby adult to do that either.
As you shouldn't.
Yeah.
So
I just
what
think it's-
about people that have only just got to that point in their life, but they've
It-
never been to uni and they're more decades older than they should have been when they realised
So-
it's actually a thing?
I think that currently I might be on my journey of like education to do whatever the hell I want. I'm 4 years old. However, I've been in this job. I've been in the hub for about a year. And I still feel like I'm only a year old sometimes. And I think dependent
But all
on...
your other jobs have carried a lot of responsibility too.
Yeah, but I grew with them. So like my background is hospitality. I started working in hospitality when I was like 15. So until like last November-ish, so November 23, I was working in hospitality. So that's like ages. What is that? 8-9 years? So I was like an 8-year-old hospitality worker, right? Which is kind of old
It is.
in the grand scheme of things. So I was comfortable. I knew what I was doing. It was like no stress, like fine, absolutely fine. But because this is a new role, this is a new like life and new routines and new people, and it's like all the fun stuff. I'm only a year old, and that's fine because you go through phases. So just because you're not 24, it doesn't mean you can't be a 2-year-old adult. It doesn't mean you can't be, like, everyone's on a different journey, and sometimes it just, like, you can have different races, but, like, you might switch lanes. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
So
I think
it's
that's
going
the
to
thing.
start.
You said something about, like, when describing it to Alex about where adolescence stops and you start being allowed to.
Like when the period of sort of adolescence ends and you enter a new phase, whatever that phase is, it doesn't have to be like higher education, university, or a serious job. It could be like sort of just having time off.
So I felt like mine started really young because there was no college, no university.
Mm-hmm.
Parents were both working, so home with the older brothers, and that kind of, I feel like, I don't know, adolescence is very different.
So how old were you when you finished your, like, schooling
So
education?
school was 16,
So you're 16.
GCSEs, and then done.
Yeah.
You know, I've explored and done college and stuff on my own as an adult since then. But like that was, you know, I went straight into working at that point. And apart from when I had the boys, when I didn't work for a long period then, and then going back into it again. So, and part of me feels like going into relationships early. Also feel like perhaps I didn't sort of have that window, and at some point, where do you say that actually I'm still allowed to have that just because I'm
You're always allowed to have
many
it.
years old, and that really has been dawning on me. And I assumed it's because I was mainly spending time with younger people, last role and this role, but actually it's been back to being comfortable enough in your own self to actually know that you can actually just be. And be part of what's around, whether that's serious, whether that's fun, and actually just embrace whatever that is happening.
It's the experience of life is everything. Like you shouldn't force yourself to only try and have one experience, and you need to do that sometimes to achieve certain things, which is maybe important for you at that period of time. But in the bigger picture, go and have too many cocktails on a Saturday night and regret it on a Sunday morning. Like, you know, life is too short in the conversation we were having, and I think it links to that in some ways.
It does.
It's just, you can experience so much if you allow yourself to,
And
in
life's
that
serious
way.
enough without putting the extra pressure.
Exactly.
on
And I
being
think that's where it
serious.
stemmed from, right? Like we were talking about it and we were like, so I can't take the credit. My friend Liv, who I went to uni with, this came from her. The idea of being a baby adult. But it just, like, all of the conversations stem from, like, I feel like I'm putting too much pressure on myself. I need to chill out. I need to relax a bit.
Is that because of the continuous education and the responsibility of taking your own learning through all of uni?
I don't think it's a learning thing necessarily. Not like education, typical education-wise. I think it's more of just like you were saying, different phases of life and external pressure. And it then, like, builds and builds and builds. So it's like, it's all internal. It's not someone else saying, oh my God, you're a grown up, you should know better, or you should.
Something that we pick up and carry anyway.
Yeah, but it's all internal. Like, I've put that pressure on myself internally, and I've made myself serious. No one else has made myself less serious. It's all.
But that's a sense of responsibility to what you do as well. You take what you do seriously and sensible. Hospitality years, you've told me a lot about those roles.
Yeah, but like, I think
And when
that's
you
then
give like
putting
that.
that's then putting your work into who I am. Like, work is part of what I do, but it's not who I am.
But it's technically become more of who you are than
who I actually
for the rest
am.
of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's what it's about. It's like taking myself, not my work, not being in the hub, not hospitality, not any of that. It's been like, okay, I need to figure out what I am, what I value.
I think this one's quite a good example of that because
100%.
there's like a
Unapologetically Sophie.
Absolutely. The air of just being you and the freshness that brings every time you walk into a space.
But I like...
You're doing all of this grown-up stuff as well.
Yeah, but this
and
is
then
the
she
thing
goes
I
home
was.
and cuts her own fringe.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Don't-
I just
don't
love
look
it.
at my
It's great. It's
That's so
great.
embarrassing.
It's not the first time.
No, but I would say it's so interesting because like we're the same age, but we're having such different experiences right now. Like you're a managing director of Citizen Hub, pretty big girl job, and I'm still like sort of coming in at 12:30 here, just be like, I've just got out of bed, like just doing a bit of studying. But what I'm studying, like the Masters in Food Policy that I was saying, it's a lot of it in the content we're covering is quite, you can feel in despair a lot of the time because it's a lot of the global food system
It
is.
sounds heavy. Sophie
Yeah.
comes into the hub
That
and
is
we're like
seriously
having a little
grown-up
chat
stuff.
about like, oh my gosh, shall I water the plants? I forgot about it for 3
What,
weeks in
this
a row.
one this one that's fake.
And Sophie comes in and she's like, wow, I've just had the most unbelievable like
Yeah.
epiphany about the systems of the world.
But in like having those lectures and having that like intense kind of quite concentrated reality check of this is everything that's happening in the world and this is everything that's going wrong and then the conference that I went to, which is like a food and farming conference in Oxford, the Oxford Real Farming Conference, it was basically like a celebration of all of the hard work that people are doing in that space. And it was another perspective thing for me that people are on the front line dealing with social justice issues, inequality, like people in all of these kind of spaces in the world where it's just horrific. I don't always have words for it, but it's just the pain that people are putting themselves through every day in their own lives to fight for a bigger cause beyond themselves. But they're not doing it with the weight of what they're doing. They're doing it with a celebration. And that whole conference was like people not patting each other on the back, but like really lifting each other up in what they're doing, contributing towards this bigger thing. And it's just, for me, it's a massive thing of like nothing that I do and that I want to do in life has to ever be for my own benefit. Like doing something that's for a bigger picture and for a better picture and for like a happier picture and celebration. And that's why I love coming here, because everyone is always here just like celebrating, smiling, chatting, even though they're probably having a conversation before or after that that's really heavy and serious. But it's not about the serious bit, it's about celebrating the wins together. Massive tangent, but like all of the heavy stuff that I'm doing at uni isn't without the counterpart of celebrating the stuff that's being successful towards the better outcome of the other situation. So
yeah, and I feel like that's
Yeah.
a focus for like the whole general like how I'm trying to be this year and hopefully going forwards. Like, yes, there's lots of heavy, but also there is lots of celebration, and it's focusing
Yeah.
on the celebration instead of being like, oh, the celebration's like a tick box so that we can like talk about it and then I'll go home and feel weighed upon.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
being
yeah.
like,
That's also your whole self and bringing your whole self to work, not sort of just the serious bit. It's actually
yeah,
being able
Exactly.
to hold the whole.
it's like, it's not that I don't feel able to, it's just that I feel like I can't. Do you know what I mean? And that's like something that I'm working out. And then saying about being a baby adult, that's like helped validate it almost.
yeah.
It sounds to me like you guys are talking about essentially, and I think a lot of people relate to everything you just said right now and have those same reflections. It's essentially what you've described as becoming a product of your environment. As you get older, less people do things for you, more responsibilities, more power to the authorities. So you sort of just become this person that's pretty professional.
Watching Alex, that's
Videoing us from the outside, totally off-putting. Yeah, it's just such a weird balance because I also feel like everyone is doing such different things in life, and I feel like it's now more so than ever.
Yeah.
You're really seeing people going on just completely different paths, and then it's at the point where there's no comparisons to be made, but that's something you always have to check yourself against because you can feel that voice of comparison just being like, well, look at what they're doing, but not compare, but just observe and kind of take from what other people are doing, the experiences they're gaining, but not having that like, yeah, the opposing, like, look what they're doing versus what you're doing and how does it compare. That can be quite detrimental, but you're so encouraged to compare in the
It's
way
all about
that
social media.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
Compare yourself to them and compare yourself to them. But I do feel
check
like
yourself. That's the second time I've heard that this
Yeah.
week, and I've never really come across it in in this way until the other day. So I think it came up in a Scout
you need to check yourself.
class.
And
But
you're right.
actually, just check yourself. And it's not with attitude. It's not with blame. It's an
like check in.
accountability.
It's like
Yeah.
check in with yourself
yeah,
rather
and
than
actually that's a positive.
check yourself.
Yeah, it's not a. It's definitely a positive
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Actually, just check. Am I taking like too much responsibility in this? Am I taking this too heavily? It's not always check yourself as in the negative way that I would have heard about it before. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's in a positive, like, check yourself to make sure you're doing the best you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, like, make sure you're doing the best for
And you
yourself.
don't have to carry the rest of it. You can leave it. You can leave
Just
it
leave
there.
it alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like going to the gym, just checking in with all the muscles that they're still there, checking in with the mental muscles that I'm
Speaking of
like,
Jamie.
still being a good person.
Jamie's got
Yeah.
them all. He's got mine.
Yeah.
He's working out for me right now.
Yeah, I just think we were talking about it and I was like, wow, like I'd had the conversation with Liv and then we spoke about it and I was like, this is just really like,
Yeah.
It's to me, it's a bit of an eye opener. A beautiful, beautiful phrase that I feel needs to be a thing.
maybe
And
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
we were
adult.
saying, like, when you actually retire, so my dad's just gone down to 2 days work a week and he's like gone back to being a kid. He's got all this spare time and he's so excited.
He's allowing himself to do.
Yeah, but he's now a
Beautiful.
baby retired person. Like,
he's
you've
a baby
entered,
retiree. He's entered
Yeah.
a new phase
and
that
so
he's
you
got
have
to learn.
this like breath of kind of like just the unknown in this new phase, which I think we see life as very linear, but you're always circling back to go back and collect some youth and then go back to the next stage with this excited breath of fresh air, and then you're kind of getting into that stage, becoming a bit more experienced, and then it's not like we suddenly are young and then we're really old. You're
But
always
it seems to me that people need that reminder that of exactly what you've said.
yeah.
That
what bit?
there is this this thing.
Stop touching it.
It's I'm being all
You're being expressive
pillow,
and-
yeah. I need to move these pillows and I can sit back. Could you pull them all out for me? The point of life being a line. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not linear. There's
No,
like,
exactly. But the fact, I think lots of us somehow along time, along circumstances, has almost set that out as a thing and as a pattern that by default lots of people end up falling into. But that message that needs to, I wish I could somehow. I hope we capture that what you've just said.
Yeah.
Because it's allowing ourselves to actually be frivolous, be more silly, be
It's all a spiral
more
anyway.
in the moment.
Yeah.
Because somehow that's almost like that's been deadened, dumbed, muffled,
Yep.
and doesn't end up being the forefront of everything. Why are we not having more fun? Yes, life can be really, really tough. Living with physical, mental, challenges can all bring us all down. But I kind of feel like maybe we can use the whole Wellness Wednesdays things to remind people that exists, but we can live well with those around it, and to try and bring that back up into the forefront of we hear you, we see you, we know that is really tough that you're living with, but what else can we do to bring light into it? Call the silly, create the silly space.
I think that's the meaning of life. That's my answer.
And also, in some ways, I think well-being isn't, like, I don't see well-being necessarily as always something, like, within me. I always feel like I'm my environment. And that's, again, why I love coming here, because as soon as I step in, and I've come in crying, and I'll always leave laughing. And it's like, well-being is choosing to put myself in an environment where I feel the people around me are in a space where they're happy as well. And it's different for everyone, but I feel like for me, over time, I've noticed it's me putting myself in a situation where I can see well-being in other people and feeling beyond myself, because being within yourself is like a very isolated thing, and I don't feel like I'm made to be this like independent person, and I've tried that and it doesn't work.
The weight of that is just
Yeah,
nasty,
it
isn't
sucks. Like, it's just boring. But
Just says something. God, my throat's going.
Just keep talking like that. It sounds kind of sexy.
Bring out the new version. Bring out the whole thing.
I love that as my ringtone.
You started to say something, and you said something about stop it, because now...
Husky sexy Debs at 5:30 in the morning.
Great. When you said about how you come in here, it's almost like you said, the Citizen Hub is your friend.
Yeah.
That's what that felt like to me, that you come into the environment that you choose and you come into here, whether you're crying or you're not. Yes, of course, you know Grace, long time in here, you know, and clearly now you're my little Soph, and you belong here. Everyone belongs here, but they don't know it till they come in.
Yeah.
So it really is a bit like making a new friend.
Yeah.
And it is solid.
Yeah. The plants haven't died, so there's got to be something good.
There's
do you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, there's
I'm so
so
on
much
board.
love within these four walls.
That's why I'm convinced the plants aren't dead yet, because I've not watered these once, ever.
No,
It's
Grace and I are
true.
not-
I don't
not
even
grown-ups
question
with
it.
And I
plants.
just think the vibes in here keep them alive.
Yeah. It's
Or the, like, the
They're
moisture.
basically like living outside.
Yeah.
no,
But, like,
it's such a and I find it a privilege to come in and just sit and do work on my laptop and not speak to anyone, but be a fly on the wall and hear you guys talking to
listen.
young people, talking to each other. I just, like, for me, that's a privilege, because that's not everywhere you walk
Talking
into.
of privileges.
Yeah.
Danny Bridge.
Woo! But yeah, so I just think this is, and maybe this is in other places. People have these spaces to go to,
There's
but
so
I'm
many safe spaces. Everyone has their own
And some
safe space,
people,
right?
Like religion-following people will have their synagogues, their churches, their church people that brings them the same feeling that we're talking about here.
It's
On
the
this
same
topic.
as like us, because like yes, the Citizen Hub is ours and we spend a lot of time here. I was having a rough day a couple of months ago. I had to leave. I went to Chai Hub because I was like, you know what? I need to be out of this and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And everyone has their own different safe
But we
spaces.
both started realising it's okay for that to happen, to acknowledge it and do what we need to do about it.
yeah.
It doesn't
yeah.
mean I love the Hub any less.
No.
I just need to go somewhere
it's
else.
Because Grace is a human being,
Yeah.
and sometimes things get like that. And I think that's something that we've really kind of embraced lately, which has
Yep.
really helped, hasn't it? Do we need a minute? Do we need a walk? Do we need something?
Do I need to
Without
leave?
any guilt
yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
And we're not letting anyone down. That's us taking a step to being the best we can be for anyone that happens to come in.
Go on. You were going to say something. Sorry.
No, it's right. No, it's fine. It's fine. I can't remember.
He just
Sorry.
It's fine.
just likes touching
I like
his
listening, though. I like listening, you know. I like listening.
Yeah.
It's good.
I just think building the fabric that the Citizen Hub is made up of, you guys make sure that you're so attentive to each other, even though your job is in the service of others, you're also just in the service of each other, making sure you guys all read each other, know each other enough to make each other feel supported in a very demanding environment in some cases, and that you celebrate it together. I
stand by the family dynamic.
I'm going to say,
Yeah.
again, it's the Hub family. That's
Because some days.
there's the sibling fallout. There's the mum annoying the kids. There literally is that reality of being in a small place together all the time.
At least once every day.
And allowing... I'm not accepting that one. But it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
but we've worked out how to talk things out, and we're allowed to feel the feels, process the feels, and talk about them, and that makes us better humans, better listeners.
And it's not even just with like the team and like the volunteers and the partners, but it's like regulars who come in will see us and say, "Oh, are you okay? You're looking a bit not okay
Yeah.
today."
And it's okay for us to own that too.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was late this week, and I think it was Jack actually that said, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I thought there's no point in pretending I am, because I haven't got it in me to pretend anyway. But just saying, actually, no, I'm not, and I don't even know why. I don't know what that is. or
But
what
like that's a
about.
perfectly good answer.
I feel like
for
it is,
anyone.
because otherwise I'm not.
No, I'm not
authentic.
all right. But like I don't know what's going
I'm
on.
not
But
perfect.
like
There's no point in pretending that I come in here fully
Yeah.
physically well or mentally well
facts.
every day. I've learned to own that in here. The days when I physically can't come in, but I still want to be here with worked around how to make that happen, so I can still gain and I can still give. And that should be the same for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
The same as any type of, like the ramp, making something accessible for somebody that otherwise wouldn't be able to access it. So I just feel like that it's such an open thing for the hub family and anyone that comes into the family and ends up becoming the family.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that is something to be really proud of. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but owning who you are in your down days and your physical or mental limits that fluctuate, we're human.
So fine.
And one can only hope that the right people are drawn to that. They need to know that actually they're not less of a person because they can't do all the things they feel that they're being. So being heard and being understood and not alone in that, if that's all I can offer people some days, then absolutely it was worth.
If that's all I can offer people.
I know, right? And that's like a daily thing where we're like, oh, I can't do anything besides talk to people. And we're like, what more can you do? That's it.
Yeah, like if on your worst
That's
day,
giving
you can
someone
still
everything. Giving someone a pair of ears to genuinely listen to someone. I think that doesn't really happen as often as we think.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Underrated.
And
Listening
that's
is
something that needs celebrating.
Heavy
isn't
value.
it?
Yeah.
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 The things we talked about is great things to implement into your life, and it's a great thing that we're here now. But how do people get to this point? It's about, essentially what we've said is you're a product of your environment, and you're exposed to certain things. So how can you build a better environment for yourself? We need more of these citizens' hubs. We have more events like what's happening on Wednesdays.
I do think that the infrastructure is really important, but the more important part is the people that are around you. Do you know what I mean? Like, the hub is amazing and put a lot of value in the actual building and the infrastructure. But the hub wouldn't be anything without the volunteers who come in here and the partners who come in here and the people who just come in and show us their dogs. John's here.
I think each person brings their own rhythm, and I'm going to mention rhythms because I love rhythms. People live their whole lives in a rhythm. There's a certain time that I get up and I have breakfast. There's a certain time I go to sleep. There's a certain schedule that I have in the week, and that's kind of a rhythm of my life. And
that's kind of beautiful because normally that's routine.
Yeah, it's a rhythm. It's a rhythm. And how does the
Bless
Citizen
you.
Hub work? You have a volunteer schedule,
Rhythms.
same volunteers there's a rhythm, and when the rhythm synchronizes in the right way, you can have really big impact because people in the surrounding area feel that rhythm and they can come and find how they can participate in their own rhythms in their own lives, with also including the rhythm of the Citizen Hub. And that's how I kind of see, because it's not the hub and the infrastructure on its own, and it's not just the people, it's how it all kind of works together. And it's even how the Citizens Hub works in the layout that it makes it possible to have the C58. It's this whole flow that works, and it's not anything on its own, and it's not necessarily just the relationship between you two, it's the whole way that you schedule your time. I just see it all as a rhythm, and I feel like the Citizens Hub has such a positive rhythm emitting from it. Yeah.
So
I'm obsessed with
rhythm
rhythms.
guru.
Yeah.
So much better than routine. So much.
Nothing about the world that we live in,
Because
the
it's
universe
not
we live in, is
routine.
anything but rhythm.
Routine sounds heavy and responsible.
You
and
couldn't build out your day in here in a routine.
No.
No.
There's no such thing.
There's a rhythm.
Because
looked at it.
routine, to have a routine, it has structure. It
It's
has
too
to
set
have
in
any
stone.
kind of thing that it happens at this time. Rhythm has the flexibility for change, but it's consistent. And there's the seasons every year. It doesn't happen every day the same every year.
So what we're saying is that Wellness Wednesday is going to be a rhythm.
Yeah, and it
Not a
doesn't
timetable,
doesn't
it's not
tie
a
you
structure.
to a fixed structure, but it ties you to the rhythm of wellness. And
the rhythm might
however
start
that
slowly
forms.
and then it all...
Yeah,
Just like the
all
rhythm
about
of
the
music.
rhythms, baby.
It's not a regimen.
No,
Yeah.
It's
and
more of an
nothing should
ecosystem.
be. How boring would life be if it was so confined in that really structured way?
Well, that's how
silly
most
enough.
people live their lives.
And
literally.
why do we love art? It's a rhythmic flow. Why do we love dance? It's a
Dave.
rhythmic flow. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Jack
it's all
is
about the
knocked
rhythm.
out.
Is he asleep again? Aww.
Yeah.
Ready for you?
On that note,
Did you say 5 or now?
yeah. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm sticking
You
around.
are totally natural at
Oh
this.
my
Beautiful.
God. No, I just honestly rhythm. I'm obsessed with
I love
rhythms at the
that.
moment.
You're embracing that onto the
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
Henry Lepfer, old French guy, rhythm analysis. Check it out.
Is that the talkie rhythm?
You need a cup of warm stuff.
Wait, what's his name?
Baby adults.
So let me write that down. Definitely.
And then went on a tangent.
Space.
Of course it does.
As I mean, like Interstellar.
Shall I come and sit over there with you,
Oh,
Jake?
space itself.
I don't know where these guys want to sit.
Yeah. Interstellar. What's going on?
Ah,
Oh.
that's my boy's favourite film. Oh, see, now I'm intrigued to know about the rest of them.
I've never